This is the Eyeball on our changing world. I'll be right back. Please stay with me. Here's a woman who is frustrated with her life. So she comes to social media for some advice. And she said here that I'm secretly giving my lactose intolerant stepchildren milk. And she starts out here by saying, I'm struggling with a challenging situation involving my husband's two children from his previous marriage. Every time they stay with us, their mother sends me a long list of what to cook for them. She insists they only eat organic food and strictly avoid dairy because they are lactose intolerant. Preparing everything she requests takes a lot of time and money. I end up cooking twice as much because my children eat regular food. Once, when my stepchildren were staying with us, I accidentally gave them a cake that had milk in the recipe. I was horrified when I realized it and immediately grabbed my phone to call the doctor. But nothing happened. They simply said the cake was delicious. I waited for some time, but there was no reaction to the milk in the recipe. All right. It's interesting. It gets even more interesting. I realized my husband's ex-wife simply wanted to make my life more complicated, and I was furious. So I decided to stop cooking separately for my stepchildren. I started feeding them the same food as my own kids, which includes milk and other dairy products. The kids ate well, enjoyed their meals, and there were no complications or signs of any health issues. However, everything changed when my youngest stepson, who is 4, innocently mentioned to his mother that he drank milk at our house. She immediately realized that I had been lying about following her dietary instructions and confronted me angrily. I explained that I didn't want to cook separately for no reason, as it was unnecessarily time consuming and expensive. I tried to reason with her, but she was livid and accused me of endangering her children. This led to a massive family drama. My husband was caught in the middle, trying to mediate, but also upset with me for not communicating my decision to him first. I want to maintain peace, but I also don't want to be manipulated and forced into doing something unreasonable. I feel lost and stuck and would really use some advice. Now, this woman is in a real tight spot. It's hard, trying to stand up for herself and at the same time trying to maintain peace between families. I think that one of the things that she should really do before anything else would be to consult with her husband let her husband mediate between she and the ex-wife. Because one thing you have to realize here is that the ex-wife will never be happy with how the current wife treat her children. She's going to be constantly trying to prove that she's about a better mother than the husband's current wife. And she wants to prove that to the husband and to the current wife. So, you know, you will have a constant battle if you don't allow your husband to head up this thing. Because your husband can play a major role in this to reduce the tension between the families. You could consult with your husband. You could ask your husband to get a second opinion. Let's see you could see a healthcare professional who could look at what the ex-wife claimed this lactose intolerant is all about, and compare it to what you have to offer. Maybe a healthcare professional might be okay with the food that you're offering to the stepchildren. But in situations like these, you have to, in my opinion, consult your husband. Let him mediate between you, the wife, and the ex-wife. Healthcare professional might, I said, find it fine. There are dietary recipes out there also. Easy, dietary recipes that are has nothing to do with dairy products. Simple. You probably could go shopping on that. Have a separate area where you put food for those stepchildren, and have a separate area where you have food for your own children. But as I said, you should not be fighting with the ex-wife about this, because she'll never be happy. That's going to make your life miserable. I would say, as I said before, let your husband mediate. And that should, be less stress on you and your husband. This is the Eyeballer on our changing world.